Medina. Let's move on to the next question. In which city Sayyidina Muawiyah met Sayyidina Hussein and the rest of the group? Interestingly, when Sayyidina Muawiyah came from Damashq to Medina to personally meet these 5 Sahaba, including Sayyidina Hussein bin Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu, on hearing the news that Sayyidina Muawiyah is coming to the Medina, they realized that the natural thing that he will seek our pledge for his nomination, and they said, we're not going to do that. In order to avoid any sort of confrontation, they left Medina. They said, we will go for Umrah and we'll go to Makkah, and they left Medina for Makkah. So Sayyidina Muawiyah, when he reached Medina, he met Sayyida Aisha, but then he was told that none of them are in Medina, actually they are in Makkah. So Sayyidina Muawiyah went to Makkah, from Medina to Makkah. He reached Makkah and he met this group of Sayyidina Hussein, Sayyidina Ibn Umar, Ibn Zubair, and Abdurrahman ibn Abu Bakr. Possibly Ibn Abbas wasn't there at that time. So he met this group personally, and he arranged a meeting with them. So he wanted to meet them one by one, but they said, no, we would like to see you as a group. And they made Sayyidina Ibn Zubair radiallahu ta'ala anhu his the representative of their group, so that who could speak on their behalf. So this meeting happened, and then Sayyidina Muawiyah asked that why you guys are opposing my nomination. And they gave their own reasons, but they said that we don't think that Yazid is capable of running the government or to be the Khalifa of all Ummah. So that's what they said. And then Sayyidina Muawiyah said, okay, give me some options, give me a few options. I mean, what do you think? Let's resolve this issue. So Sayyidina Ibn Zubair, who was speaking on behalf of this group, said, we give you first option, why don't you follow the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and don't nominate anyone? And so Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam didn't nominate anyone, didn't nominate his successor. And the Ummah agreed on Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu, and then he became the Khalifa with consensus. So Sayyidina Muawiyah responded that, yeah, but there is no Abu Bakr in Ummah right now. There's no Abu Bakr present in the Ummah, so I cannot leave it like what Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam did. I cannot do that because there's no such figure in the Ummah. I don't see any such figure in the Ummah right now. So Ibn Zubair said, okay, let me give you a second option. The second option is, why don't you then follow the sunnah of first Caliph Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu, nominate someone who's not from your tribe and who's not from your family. On hearing this second option, Sayyidina Muawiyah said, any other option? They said, yes, you've got another option. The third option is, why don't you follow the sunnah of Sayyidina Umar Farooq radiallahu ta'ala anhu, that you make a shura and ensure that none of your relatives are in that shura, and someone from that shura will become the Khalifatul Muslimin. So Sayyidina Amir Muawiyah listened to all these three options, and he said, okay, I'll think about it. And then the meeting ended without without resolving the issue. So Sayyidina Muawiyah met all these Sahaba, those who were opposing the nominance of Yazid, in Makkah. Let's move on to the next question. What was the advice of Sayyidina Muawiyah to Yazid regarding Hussein radiallahu ta'ala anhu? And this is very interesting. Sayyidina Muawiyah radiallahu ta'ala anhu advised Yazid on his death that Hussein, I'm sure the people of Kufa will urge and will write letters to Hussein and will ask him to make a khuruj, to do a rebellion against you. So if that happens, then you need to, but if that happens, but I know that if Sayyidina Hussein come out against you, but the same people of Kufa who will motivate him, or who will urge him to come and take over, will betray him. and you will be successful, and you will be able to control them. So my advice to you, when that happens, treat Hussein bin Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu, because he's from the family of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Treat him with respect and do not harm him. That's my advice to you. So this was the advice of Sayyidina Muawiyah to his son Yazid. Move on to the next question. Why Muawiyah radiallahu ta'ala anhu chose Yazid as his successor? The simple answer is to avoid chaos and disunity among the Ummah. Banu Umayyah was the most strongest tribe in the Ummah at that time, and he thought the elders of Banu Umayyah will never agree on someone who is not from Banu Umayyah to be the caliph of Muslims. So that's the logic behind the nomination of Yazid by Sayyidina Muawiyah radiallahu ta'ala anhu. And so my next question is, why Sayyidina Hussein radiallahu ta'ala anhu opposed Yazid's Khilafah? Now some people say that, and it's very unfortunate. Some people actually from Ahl Sunnah, I wouldn't really call them as such, because it's against the aqidah of Jamhur ulama that to say something against Sayyidina Hussein radiallahu ta'ala anhu. And they say that, when Yazid became Khalifa, so Sayyidina Hussein should have, accepted his Khilafat, because he had, whether rightly or wrongly, he was sitting on the throne, he was the Khalifa, he should have accepted it. But that's not the case. Sayyidina Hussein, the logic of Sayyidina Hussein radiallahu ta'ala anhu was that Hijaz wasn't accepting Yazid as a Khalifa. So his Khilafah was not through the consensus of among the Ummah. Iraq, though, accepted him as Khalifa, but people from Kufa were writing him, they're sending him letters every day that we don't like him, and they forced us to do the Pledge of Allegiance. And then so he was coming from the point that his Khilafah is not through the consensus, and he is considered a mutaghallib, which means an aggressor, someone who appointed himself who appointed himself against the will of the people. So that was his point of view, and that's why he did the Khuruj. My next question is, who was Muhammad bin Hanfiya? What was his advice to Hussein radiallahu ta'ala anhu? Muhammad bin Hanfiya was Sayyidina Hussein's non-Fatimi brother. So his father was Sayyidina Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu, but his mother wasn't Sayyidina Fatima, his mother was Khawla bint Jafar. So he was the half brother of Sayyidina Hussein radiallahu ta'ala anhu. And when Sayyidina Hussein informed him about his intentions of going to Kufa, then his advice to Sayyidina Hussein was to, instead of going to Kufa, you must go to Makkah and seek allegiance from them in Makkah and write letters to the people who are offering you their support to do the allegiance. And then only once they say that, yeah, we accept you as a Khalifa, and they pledge their allegiance, then you go to Kufa. Please don't go to Kufa, because otherwise, he said, I know there will be bloodshed. There will be two groups. One will be in your favor, the other will be against you, and you will become the eventual target, and your blood will be spilled for no reason. So that was his advice to Sayyidina Hussein radiallahu ta'ala anhu. Imam agreed on his advice, but when Kufis learned that Imam has left Medina, they started writing him even more letters, sending him more letters, and that changed his mind. Then he said, okay, the people in Kufa are ready for me, so I must go. I mustn't let them down. So Muhammad bin Hanfiya was actually the brother of Sayyidina Hussein radiallahu ta'ala anhu. Next question is, who was the messenger of Sayyidina Hussein who went to Kufa? So the answer is Muslim bin Aqil. He was the first cousin of Imam Hussein radiallahu ta'ala anhu, and who arrived in Kufa on 1st of Dhul Hijjah 60 Hijri. And Muslim bin Aqil was the son of Aqil bin Abi Talib, who was an ally of Sayyidina Amir Muawiyah radiallahu ta'ala anhu. He was the son of Sayyidina Aqil bin Abi Talib. And Sayyidina Hussein sent him as his messenger, his envoy to Kufa. And when he arrived in Kufa on 1st of the 60 Hijri, people welcomed him, greeted him, and within a short span of time, there were about 18,000 people who said, okay, yeah, we pledge our allegiance to Hussein radiallahu ta'ala anhu, and please invite him, and we are ready for him to come and take over and lead us. At that time, the governor of Kufa was Noman bin Bashir radiallahu ta'ala anhu, a very wise sahabi who was famous for finding a middle ground and solutions to the problems, who was a kind of a sulh type person who looks for solutions. And he treated Sayyidina Muslim bin Aqil with respect and didn't as such create any problems for him. Yazid got this news that Muslim bin Aqil is in Kufa and trying to get support for Sayyidina Hussein. So what Yazid did, Yazid removed Sayyidina Noman bin Bashir, who was trying to find a middle ground, who was trying to get them on board for some sort of solution. He removed him and made Ibn Ziyad, Ubaidullah ibn Ziyad, the governor of Kufa. And who was Ubaidullah bin Ziyad? Ubaidullah bin Ziyad was the son of Ziyad bin Sufyan, the son of Sayyidina Abu Sufyan and brother of Sayyidina Muawiyah, who was governor of Faris, who was made governor of Faris by Sayyidina Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu, and who was close ally of Sayyidina Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu. So it's a story which is at the same time which very tragic, but at the same time very interesting. If you see that there wasn't as such a rivalry between two groups or a family feud. There were people from both sides who were supporting each other. So, and it is because without knowing these facts, what happens that the common perception or understanding is that, the Banu Umayyah were, as a group, all of them were against the Ahlul Bayt. That wasn't the case. So that's the point I'm trying to get your attention to. So that's we need to understand, and we need to focus on these. We need to ponder about these lesser known details. So Sayyidina Muslim bin Aqil arrived in Kufa, and as I said, 18,000 people supported him and showed him that they are ready for Sayyidina Hussein to come and lead them.